There we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Winner's Lounge. This is five times in a row, baby. 5 times in a row.
My throat is getting a little sore from all of these air horns, these positive air horns.
Winning, getting boring over here.
It's getting boring.
Undefeated in the pre-game show era. The pre-game show, it's just, I mean, we might never lose again.
Why did we not do this? What was our deal?
What were we thinking?
We should, like, that's on us, bros.
Well, that is on us.
But we're here now.
We are here now, so welcome in, everybody. We are, of course, as always, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app, the #1 top-rated sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. I'm joined by Brendan Vogt.
Lost a lot of money tonight on DraftKings, actually.
You did?
But you know what?
Wow,
we got that
ringing
blowout.
endorsement. Yeah, I did tell everybody to take Jamal Murray's points.
Hey, we'll take the blowout. We'll take the mega munder.
That's so true. I only lost 1 unit. Nobody knows how much that is. It's 1 unit.
It's a lot. Those units are steep.
Over here, I've got D-Line Co. You know him as D-Line?
Do you? Does anyone know me?
Nobody knows you.
Guys? Yeah, Mike. Let's go.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, J-Mike. And then, of course, Duvalier, a.k.a. Superstar Dev.
I mean, D-Line said it last game, so we might as well just talk about it.
We're back. We back. Nobody wants to declare we're back. Listen. I will lead the charge. I'll be the tip of the sword. You guys can keep your integrity. I don't give an F. We're back, baby.
Struess, Vincent, Akpala. There was guys out there. I mean, it was a good win. It was a blowout win. It was a much-needed blowout win. It did have one really shitty quarter, and that happens. But I think, we're not going to talk about that one because too many things are going the Nuggets' way right now, and they do get a 5th straight win. On this road trip, this 5-game road trip, they started off 4-0 with a chance to close it out 5-0, and none of us thought that was. Like, when we looked at the schedule and saw this road trip, it was like, can they get 3? 2 would kind of be disappointing. 3, well, they're already at 4, so that's great. Before we get started, though, guys, a little bit of house cleaning. We did add this new feature. Well, I guess YouTube added this new feature that we have just
we're using.
Yeah, that we are using called Super Chat. If you look at the live chat down there, there's that little money sign. If you put that out there, we're like, I don't know, how can we use this for fun? You don't have to use this in any capacity. But if you want to see Eric take a shot of Rakia, we got some new Rakia. Super producer Kale had to run to the store and get us new Rakia. So if you want to see him take a shot to celebrate, or any of the guys up here, Vogt's kind of thirsty, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you give me enough shots tonight, maybe I'll buy that Will Barton shirt. Who knows? I'm feeling loose.
All right, Dev, I'm going to start with you, man. Off the top, what's your biggest takeaway from this game?
Earlier you said that, going against this Miami Heat team, they were missing a lot of key players, so it's not a huge win. I think it's a big win because the Nuggets came out and did exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
There were a lot of guys that stepped up and did what they were supposed to, and that was while not having their best 2 players having like a big game. So you're starting to get a lot of other help from everybody else, and I think that's why it's so big that everyone is starting to pitch in.
So I think the Nuggets are 10-4 in the JaMychal Green era. That kind of sticks out to me. Like, sometimes having your key offseason acquisition really matters. But Eric, so do you agree this is a good win? Is this
so earlier in the year we had an absolutely a win we barely even considered a win against a 76ers team that had 9 players, and we won like pretty comfortably, but we didn't look good the entire game.
It's a good point. Yep.
The Nuggets were in control. It was a laugher the entire way. It got a little, even when it got dicey in the third quarter, it was like, all right, like, okay, they're within 9, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was never in doubt. Like, it really is just the evolution of the Nuggets to where the pieces are starting to make sense together consistently. It's not just a one-off, and we're just seeing consistency over and over, and that's what you want. Like, that's what you need in the NBA, so it's a great win.
It did feel, Brendan, like early on in the year, they were either losing games or they were beating terrible teams, or they would get a medium win, but it would take like Jokic looking like Wilt Chamberlain and Murray having at least 2 or 3 quarters. Now, it does feel like they're back to, it doesn't have to look like a miracle for them to look back. Oh, they're back to. It doesn't look like it has to take a Herculean effort from the player for them to win.
These have been some balanced efforts, and I think there's actually an easy argument to be made that the cavalry has showed up for Jokic's worst stretch of games of the season.
Yeah,
again, a relative term, but they've been there. They've been there, and they're winning these games. So look, I mean, yeah, Miami was down a lot of guys, but it's not like this was a massive rest advantage for Denver, who's been on the road, a road trip that started with the Phoenix games. And their stars are exhausted. So, yeah, you have to win that game. But they didn't just win. They blew them out. And so it's a good win.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to go to here is to open this game, and I don't know what they finished. I have the stats in front of me. They finished 29%, Miami did, from the three-point line. That's not very good. That's below average. But it's not that far below average. They probably could have made 3 more three-pointers. Maybe it's a little closer. But they started so cold. I mean, they couldn't make – I think they were 0 of 13 or something to open this game. And it's hard to know sometimes whether teams just miss shots or whether the defense is good or where that scale goes. Early on, they get held. Denver outscores them in the first quarter 26-12. They hold them to 12 points in the first quarter, Dev. Good defense, bad shooting, both. What was it?
I think it was a mixture of both, but then it was also the Nuggets just being a lot smarter than them and taking smarter shots. In the first half, there was 40 points in the paint from the Nuggets, and there was only 8 from the Heat.
It was insane.
One team realized they were not making threes.
Right.
And the other teams, they were not making threes as well. The Nuggets were not making threes in the first half, but then they realized, hey, we're not getting anything to fall. Let's start to go into the inside of the paint. The weird thing about it was Jokic had 16 points at the half. Barton had about, 10, and 2 of those were three-pointers. So it was just everyone else that was getting into the paint. They decided to go into the paint and make shots, and they pushed the Heat off of their three-pointers. So I think that it was a mixture of both.
So Nuggets have been a top 15 defense over the last 10. If you cut out those first 4 or 5 games, since then it has been they've been really good defensively. Do you think that the defense is rounding into shape? What's the state of the defense?
Sure. If they try very hard, they can be a middle of the pack defensive team in the regular season. So that's a low bar. But I think they've looked a lot better. I think Michael Porter Jr. individually is starting to trend in the right direction.
Had some clips on this up on the list today, guys. Positive impact defensively, not just neutral, positive.
So I don't know if they're going to, their regular season ceilings in years prior have been sort of like 10-11 range, right? If they try really hard. I don't know if the defense has that in them this year, but they can be good enough. They can be good enough that if they're opportunistic on defense for one quarter and they're shooting well enough, scoring well enough, then they can survive. So I feel good about the D.
Eric, where do you want me to start? Yeah, Mike, or yeah, JaMychal?
How about Mike's?
Yeah, Mike's. Okay.
Yeah, Mike's.
Doesn't quite. You didn't make the shirt. You might have to amend the shirt that we just came out with. But actually, we know what, Kale. Can you find a picture of the shirt so our YouTube audience maybe hasn't seen it? Not everybody's on social media or whatever. But we got a brand new Yeah Mike shirt. Very gorgeous. I designed it. Eric did some of the grunt work for it.
Well, quickly, if I can just tell the story. Like people were like, "Wow, that came out really fast." Like you guys, it was just like a watershed moment online, and you had a T-shirt out the next day. Like we've been saying this for a year. I've had this shirt planned for so long. It's just like nobody was quite picking up on it, and then for whatever reason it took off. And then I was like, oh well, now I have to put it out right now.
Right.
So
you were prepared.
I was prepared, man.
You were ready for that to go viral months ago, and the world wasn't. You were too early.
Yeah. You're
like the Clash, man. You were ahead of your time.
Watch our Michael Porter Jr. preview video. We say yeah, Mike, 6 times.
That's so true. We do say it so much. That was months ago. All right, Dev. I asked him, and he just told that story. But Mike or JaMychal? Where do you?
I think you should start with JaMychal.
Okay. Well, you can start with JaMychal. I mean, you don't throw it back to me.
You asked me a question. I didn't know, but yeah, we'll go with JaMychal. JaMychal, he's doing the same thing that he's been doing. He's fitting in, pushing everybody else around him. We know in that second unit that their leader is Monte Morris. They go as he goes, but JaMychal is the person that he could go into any unit and he's going to make it flow.
Man.
He's aggressive. He does all of the right things. He's always at the right spot, and he's a player that everyone trusts, offensively and defensively. They know that JaMychal is going to be behind them, and he's going to protect them so they could take a lot of chances. This was a game that Facu played great defensively. Monte did what he had to do. Michael Porter Jr. was very active in the passing lane, and it's because they have a person behind them that they can trust, just like they had with Mason Plumlee. They have another player that's back there that's just the anchor of the defense, and he was great tonight.
He's also doing so many things, though. His three-point shooting we've talked about, reliable, but also rebounding. And in the last 3 or 4 games, I feel like he's doing other stuff we hadn't seen yet, getting to the glass, offensive rebound, second chance points, driving and drawing in ones.
Didn't tonight he run a DHO with Jokic, and then and then he finds MPJ in the dunker spot with a little shovel pass?
A JaMychal to Mike,
yeah, dude, a little bit of everything. This guy is so solid. And I think, you nailed, when we look back at what was wrong with the bench, arguably the most important player on the bench wasn't playing.
Yeah, it was the players on the bench.
It was the players. So 10-4 in the JaMychal Green era. So here's a couple takes for you. One, they lost Jeremy Grant. They needed a replacement, and they didn't have him those first 4 games. But also, Paul Millsap, they kind of don't have Paul Millsap because Paul Millsap has been that guy that has been the like power forward that stabilizes everything and a glue. Does he shine all the time? No. But when he's on the court, everybody else looks good and the team looks good. They didn't have that those first 4 games. And yeah, there was other stuff going on, getting familiar here. But it does seem like the Nuggets are a completely different team with him. And it's not always just what he does. Some of his plays, and I thought tonight some of his plays shined. But he just does like so much of the dirty work that allows the other guys to do what they do best.
Yep. I call him, the nickname I came up with, I call him the big fundamental.
Is that right? Yeah, that's a good one. I might be taken.
Whatever.
I call him Magic Mike.
No one else has ever said that before.
I just came up with it. I just
call him Air Mike. Yeah. Do you have? Is this up on the screen right now? Or are you? Oh, you're still exporting this.
I put it up on the screen in 2 seconds.
2 seconds. We are up. Here's our brand new. Look at this beautiful work of art that Eric made. I was lying earlier, guys, when I said I made this. Eric designed it. I have to confess.
Yeah, Mike. There it is.
Yeah, there's nothing. Do you want to go there? You see, the one is the eye is a 1.
The eye is a 1,
yeah.
and it's as though you can look at this as though Gary Harris is screaming it at a newly wet Michael Porter Jr. who's covered in Gatorade.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike.
Gorgeous shirt, man. You did awfully good. JaMychal Green, man. He really has just been absolutely fantastic, and I think maybe a little bit of a preview of King of the Game. I don't know if we're ready there yet, but we do have.
We already did it, yeah.
Oh, wow, I must have missed it.
Let's return.
There it is. Kings of the game. Look at this, 2 kings, man.
JaMychal Porter Jr.
JaMychal Porter Jr. 32 points, 15 rebounds, a hell of a combo. Absolutely right. Michael Porter tonight. My favorite play, and maybe the play that most defines Michael Porter and what he brings to the table. First of all, that third quarter, we do have to mention it. Ugly as hell. They felt like they couldn't get a good look. Thankfully, the Nuggets have a player who's great at making bad looks, like really, really good at it, and that was Michael Porter Jr. But the play of the game, or one of the defining plays for me was Michael Porter airballs a 3. Maybe a little bit of a bad shot. He was a little far. Immediately, somebody said it was the next play. I thought it was 2 or 3 plays later.
His next possession.
It was his next possession. He just sprints into a transition 3, which was also a terrible shot. Drains it.
Yeah. Did it feel like Mike Porter Jr. was a little off tonight, guys? Maybe missed some shots.
Yeah, it was below 50% for the first time this year.
7 of 12 from the
7
field.
of 12.
43% from 3.
Jesus, man.
What a bomb, dude. What a bomb.
This guy's washed. Get him out of here.
It's like Jokic. His efficiency, and I'm not saying his impact is like Jokic, but Jokic can have those nights where you're like, man, it just doesn't feel like he did anything. 26, 12, and 7. You're like, oh, yeah. I guess he kind of did everything. Actually, Michael Porter has the nights where you're like, man, he was kind of off tonight. And you look at it and you're like, oh, yeah, well above 50%. Right. And 17, the points per shot is the way you really look at this. And 17 points on 12 shots, anytime you're above like 1-to-1, it's okay. Anytime you're above like 1, significantly above it, it's great.
So not Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but really, Michael Porter Jr., he's doing it. The thing is, he does exactly what we thought he would do in it. Like when he was showing himself in high school highlights, in college, everything is step backs. Everything is contested. Everything is just him doing it by himself.
Yeah.
But that's just the player that he is.
Right.
There's some guys that you're just like, every time they shoot it, you just like, let's get back on defense. Not with him. Even though it looks like a no, please, no, it goes in. And you feel like it's going to go in. Every time he shoots it, everybody has like the utmost like confidence that he's going to make the shot. And most of the time he does.
Yeah.
It looked like he wasn't making the shots tonight, and he still was.
Yeah, he doesn't have like, no. He has like, yes. Like as soon as he gets on, I'm like, shoot it. Like every single time.
Especially in those stretches, like you said,
please
in the third,
shoot it.
There's nothing going on. It's
Right.
like, why not, man? Just shoot it on every time.
He really has given a shot in the arm for us and our enjoyment of the Nuggets. Like the Nuggets are always fun. I like when they win, but man, we were talking about in that third quarter when you're just like, God, this sucks, and they're going to get up some ugly shot. When he's out there, you're like, I don't want any more passes. Just shoot it, man. Like, it's fun.
You're like, here are the fundamentals. Michael Porter Jr. shoots the basketball. Like, let's focus on our fundamentals.
But when you go back to that third quarter stretch when he was taking all of those shots, and there was nobody else on the court that wanted to take the shots, and everything went through him, and that's why he got so hot, that makes me think about why he should probably be on the bench. Because you could just give him the ball at times, and you don't have to rely on, let's get it to Jokic and then try to find your way. Let's put the ball in Jamal's hand. You know that he's going to take every single shot, and you know that everybody's trying to put him in the situation to take every shot.
Yep.
And we got to see that at a time that Jamal Murray was on the court, and he was turning down shots. but he started to divert to Michael Porter Jr. and he starts to get hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just still think you want to work towards that goal. Like, these three guys are going to be starting together in the playoffs. So I understand, let's start the process now. But to your point, Dev, like, if the goal is win every game in a vacuum, like, that's the approach, then I get where you're coming from. This looks like a great balance for this team right now.
Yeah. And some part of it is just, like, getting Michael Porter Jr. that irrational confidence to be ratcheted up even to a higher level than it's already at. Like, you just want him to go in and be like, you know, I'm going to make every shot. And Jokic and Murray can, like, just observe from the bench and be like, we should pass him the ball.
I don't feel like his confidence can get higher, but I do feel like his green light can get, like, he knows I'm not allowed to do this. I can,
right,
but I'm not allowed to, and I got to take. And he still, by the way, got up 12 shots, which is the second most, and he only played 25 minutes. I say only because the starters all played more than that other than Will Barton, so, or I guess Paul Millsap too. But Murray, 36 minutes, you know, 35 for Gary. Those guys didn't get up those kind of shots. So there is something to, like, him having a little bit more green light. But here's the thing about him. I mean, he may, like, we've talked about this before. Gary Harris can be a good shooter. He's starting to round in. Jamal Murray could be a good shooter. And when Jamal Murray's hot, I feel like every shot's going in. But the default position for Michael Porter when the ball goes in the air is I'm like, that's in.
That's in.
It looks so beautiful.
Even
and,
the
like,
air balls.
There is even the air balls. There's a psychological effect of a jumper that looks beautiful that just makes you think, like, don't ever let him shoot it. And the numbers bear this out, too. I think he's shooting like 47% from three this year.
But you know what looks different that you haven't said in 2 games while he's got hot? That he doesn't know where to be on the floor.
Right.
They're running the offense through him with certain units so he does not have to make a pass, or he doesn't have to think, hey, I should make a cut because it's the smart play. It's the play that Jokic wants us to make because he's our best player. They're getting the ball to Michael Porter Jr., they move out of the way. Or they're just like, hold on, let's keep rotating until I get it back in my hand, and now I can go. So I'm not sure how they get to the point that Jamal, Jokic, and him are on the same page of let's give the ball to Michael Porter Jr. and just let him go.
What's so funny here? I always like when you get excited.
I just the chats in general. I'm also tickled by that we have 4 down votes. Like
we already have 4 down votes. Who is it? It's not feeling it.
Shout out Joe Murphy for that super chat. We appreciate you.
He says Brad Bill looks miserable. It's pounds. I mean, it's true, but then hashtag yeah, Mike, which is the price you would pay for Bradley Beal. So I mean, I don't know. It's very confusing. We appreciate the super chat, but very confusing.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, Mike, go to Washington. Yeah, people are not interested in us taking any Rocket tonight, apparently. They want our sober analysis, which I appreciate, to be honest, because I don't want to take any Rocket.
Yes.
Should we hit our first break? On the other side, we do have a lot to get to. We're going to play some fun games tonight. You can see we have Heat Check.
Ooh.
Heat Check. We're going to throw out some hot takes to see how hot they are. And then also we're going to talk about the bench. We got a lot of garbage time tonight. And when we were out there, I was like, oh, man, Bull's out there. Yeah. Ooh, RJ's out there. Yeah. Oh, and look, Marcus Howard. Like, I was thinking, man, all these guys are fun. So I want to power rank which garbage time players are the most fun. We're going to do that. But we'll take our first break now.
Let's talk about Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. I want to sell you on that juice drop. It's a great beer. Fantastic.
Best one, I'm telling you.
Shooting up my power rankings.
It's the Michael Porter of the Breck line because it's the new one on the block, and it's the right now that's all I want.
If you want to support us, one way you can do that is support our partners. One way to support Breck Brew is to come through the DNVR bar. We got all their good stuff on tap. Or check out their farmhouse, which is open. You can order curbside pickup from 12 to 8 p.m. Order delicious food and booze. Call 303-803-1380 from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. for pickup. Use code DNVR to save $5. If you want to try Breck at home, you're not sure where to find it, check out the Breck Beer Locator. Just Google that. It'll tell you where the nearest beer, the nearest flavor of Breck Brew that you want, down to the 1/10 of a mile. So, excellent tool. Make sure you check that out. And we're going to talk about Hassel Cattle Company.
Hassle-free beef?
Hassle-free beef. We brought you damn good beer. Now we're bringing you damn good beef. How does he do this?
But it looks like he's sad that they're not buying him shots.
Is that what they look like? Oh.
You might have to.
Hassel Cattle Company is a 4th-generation cattle farm out of Texas. They ship all over the beautiful U.S. of A. and straight to your door. They call their beef blue-collar Wagyu. Why? Because it's the best damn Wagyu that every man or woman can afford. Check out HassleCattleCompany.com. Use promo code DNVR10 for 10% off your order. That is DNVR10 for 10% off. Any orders over $200, you also receive free shipping. We're moving a lot of these through the DNVR and through our people. It's great. We promise you'll enjoy it. Check it out. Use DNVR 10 for 10% off.
Back here. So one of the things I think we should talk about tonight is Gary Harris's passing. Not even his shooting, but his passing. This was a really good passing game from him, and he had some real bangers.
What did he end up with? Did he have seven assists?
6 assists. Oh, 7. Was it 7?
Did he lead the team in assists tonight? I thought he did.
He did have 7 assists. He did have 7. The Nuggets as a team, 29 is really good, especially for 109 points. That's quite a few assists, and Jokic only 3 of those was wild. But Gary Harris has looked really good, I would say, over the last 8 games, and not kind of good. Like he's actually looked.
Thank you, Evan.
He actually looks like a stud. This is one of the things we talked about is if he does bounce back to where his trade value is high, it's going to be one of those things where you're like, hey, man, that was the missing piece. He looks great.
I mean, we're a couple of weeks away from Gary just having a good season, flat out. I mean, we're talking
him just being good again.
Yeah.
Right. And I like that you're starting with the other stuff because, to this larger point that Gary's starting to round to form. But how good was his defense tonight? We talked about the first quarter, them not hitting a lot of threes. Well, a lot of that was the first, and credit to RK, by the way, I'm stealing this take from him. The first 3 looks that Duncan Robinson fired up, really contested, not in rhythm. And that's their guy on a night with all these guys missing. And Gary never let him get into a good rhythm. And I just thought that was notable. I thought he was smothered him all night.
The great thing about, Gary, us saying that he's been playing well is he hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well. He's just doing so many other things that. Oh man,
what is that for?
It's for Dev. Grant Davis has specifically requested this is for Dev.
Who was? Could you figure that out?
Grant Davis.
Thank you, Grant. But back to what I was saying, Gary Harris is not shooting the ball well, but he's doing so many other things that's getting him going, and it's also within the flow of the offense. Gary Harris, like we said on Duncan Robinson, he had an assignment and he stuck with the assignment. He was blowing up their coverages. He showed that he really did study what they were doing, and he was active in the passing lanes. Got steals. Then he's also becoming a playmaker. That makes it a lot easier than him just having to shoot the ball the entire time. It's showing that Gary Harris could get out in the open. Somebody said he should be an all-star, and I'm starting to now think about it. Too.
Stonk is rising so high. Hashtag Gary Harris. Hashtag NBA All-Star. The bar is really bringing it to an emotional place right now.
Yeah,
what's going on?
We're in the slow dance part of the night.
We're very slow dance part.
I just saw someone in the comments say Harris can't shoot the ball to save his life. Look, right now, prior to tonight, the last 8 games, he's shooting 46, nearly 47% from 3. Yeah. So, he's streaky, but right now, he actually is shooting pretty well.
Yeah, just not tonight, but, from 3, 0 for 2. But, I mean, Denver's offense, the ball was just popping, and he was such a big part of it. I've talked a lot about Gary Harris not making his threes. That's one thing, but him not being able to run DHOs and get to the rim and finish. Right. Those are the other things that compound it. And tonight, he did the other things. What? Another super chat? Everyone takes a shot. Oh God. Oh wow. Well, thank you, Eric.
Sorry, I don't make the rules.
The super chat is indeed making the rules here. Avs, by the way, if you guys watched the Avs show last night, this happened for a straight hour where people were
the Avs were doing it differently. In their world, if you do a super chat, they'll answer your question.
Right.
Theirs is not based on punishment like we've brought into our own world.
They don't have a bully hosting the show.
At least ask a question. At least ask a question. and tell them the rule. We have to answer the question.
Oh my God.
This is Adam came up with this.
Eric?
And it's like having a dunk tank of booze that we just jump ourselves
Sam
into.
Hathaway.
Zavelli.
Kel, every single week he brings it with his outfits. I've been wanting to tell you guys that. Kel brings it.
Jesus, suck at taking shots, man.
Kel bringing a real oh my God! Sorry.
Yeah,
I can't even talk.
Yeah.
We are extremely for sale.
Kel has a real bachelor pad, hey, come on up to my bachelor pad, ladies. He's got a real.
They can't
Larry
see Kale, Eric.
They can when he comes in.
Multiple times.
All right, so let's get into some hot. What are we calling this? Heat check. Let's play a little heat check, guys. I forgot a little heat check because I'm going to give you. Do we have the graphic? Wait, there it is. Look at this beautiful graphic.
Pictured in this graphic is my esophagus. right now.
Why are my eyebrows gray?
We go over this every time. It's just the way that
I look
this
like I'm really
monitor
flamed.
looks
Like I'm actually.
Oh, it's not.
flaming.
Yeah, you do look like you're on fire. Oh, yeah, you're right. They're not. They're just the monitor.
We've got over this
Have I?
100 times. Yes.
You know what? My memory ain't too good these days. But all right, I'm gonna throw out a scenario. You guys are gonna tell me fire. You got a lot of confidence, man. Heat check that baby, or cold. Michael Porter Jr. contested 3. I can't even get done with it. Michael Porter Jr. contested 3. We are really
No such thing.
In
No
the
such
chat.
thing.
You can give us the fire emoji or the ice emoji. I want to know what the chat is thinking. Are we just feeling ourselves right now, or is this real, Eric?
What is, dude? I mean, like, if you are like tepid on the Michael Porter Jr. outlook, like you're just being a jerk.
You're being a dick.
Like you're just being a killjoy and an anchor. Like what?
A contested 3.
What is Michael Porter Jr. is like a foot taller than every one of the people that. Plus, he jumps straight up, and his arms are really long. There's no such thing as a contested 3 unless he's going up against Bull.
If he gets his 3-point shot blocked, that's the day I'm going to be shocked.
No,
First off, it just his feet, like his footwork on his shots, he gets it at high elevation. It's a beautiful stroke. Everything about it is just confident. There's no way that this is not fire.
Bring that heat.
All right, Michael Porter Jr. drive. Just an off the dribble drive. How are we feeling about that? Because most of what he does is pull up. Let's be honest. Still
Also,
fire. You're just like any scoring.
Yo, I'm saying, like, if Michael Porter Jr. is shooting it, I'm buying it.
Serious.
Yes.
Also, today there was a point that Michael Porter Jr. looked like he was going to go for a layup, flips it over and dunks it. He didn't even try, just went and flipped it and dunked it.
Super chat question.
What's a
address this.
Mike game? Does he need to be dynamic or does he just need to be consistent? Honestly, a Mike game is points, man.
It's
I think
dynamic.
it's just like he's scoring. Like
The 30-point games.
the other parts of it are all going to come over time, but he can have a bad night reading the game, but have 30 points, and it's like, well, it canceled its out. He was like a minus 15 and a plus 30. It's plus 15 overall. So I think it's the scoring right now. That other stuff, man, is just
icing on the cake.
It's icing on the. It's what Malone is gonna really key in on. It's like analysts, we're gonna still talk about those things, but as long as he's scoring the basketball efficiently, it's just like this is whatever. We did get one double ice, so somebody out there is.
We got a double ice, and we're up to a full 6 down votes. Wow, our haters are in.
We put Miami Heat in the chat. I'm sure there's some people that came to this one like hoping for some more Duncan
and then they just
Robinson
see
takes.
Eric ripping shots poorly. And you're like, what is this bullshit?
They're like, man, I wish we had a DNVR.
They're like, who's
Miami.
that old giggly asshole? Like a down vote to that.
All right, well, you guys are clearly just going to put fire on all of you.
Yeah,
So
like, we got to
That's
move
right.
past something that's not so obvious.
Nikola Jokic post up right now. Nikola Jokic post up
Right now?
Right now.
I can't do it. The internet's mad enough at me.
Yeah, geez, what was it? Disappointing.
I'm just kidding.
This one's too easy. I mean, he isn't a. Let's talk about Jokic for a second here. We'll use this as a springboard because tonight he's leading scorer again, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. He was really off tonight. He was 9 of 14. He did 1 of 5 from 3. He finally got a 3 to drop, which is nice to see. He really was off on his threes, but it does feel like, and this isn't a long-term thing. I feel like it's 10 quarters in a row now.
Yeah.
That I feel like Jokic has just been a little off. Like, I put this on the list. Some of the turnovers he had against Dallas, they weren't sloppy. They weren't like, he was trying to make a play happen. They were just like, dude, Jokic doesn't make bad plays like that too often. And he's making more bad plays than I think we've seen in a while.
To me, it's body language and mindset. Where
Yeah,
I just feel
think
like
you're
he's been
absolutely right.
slowly trending in the wrong direction. And look, it's been okay as his teammates have picked up the slack, but it's the approach, right? Where maybe in Phoenix it was playing too much to the refs, or maybe going a little too slow and not attacking when he's single covered, whatever it may be, the turnovers. It just looks like that mental aspect is trending in the wrong way.
I mean, it could also go into account like who's actually defending him in these last couple of
Bam.
games. It's been some aggressive
True.
guys like Willie Cauley-Stein came in, just tried to bang him around, push him around, and things like that.
Yeah, but he's also Willie Cauley-Stein. Like,
I
one doesn't
agree
count
with
for
that,
me.
but it's just like the way that they're playing him is just he's just like not into it right now. But we already know once he has one good game, he's going to be right back to himself, and he's also still just like middling. Like he's still coming up with the double every time. He's putting guys in good spots.
Denver's winning.
Yeah, they're winning. So I don't think that he's like, I need to press. Maybe this is his way of calming himself down and resting in a way while not actually resting. He's resting on the court, and he'll get back to himself when they really need him.
Eric, is it more ironic that he's been like Larry Bird all year long, just like Hall of Fame level quality. And the first time that he's had a few games where we're like, whatever, he was player of the week, and the Nuggets are on a 5-game winning streak. Like,
yeah, I mean, it speaks to the supporting cast rising up around him and him not having to be the guy that shoulders all of it. He definitely looks like he is feeling the residual effects of playing like heavy minutes early in the season. Like, there are times where he looked early in the second and in the third quarter, he was like engaged, and then he kind of like took the foot off the gas again, which, God bless him. Like, he's earned that. And so, but I mean, it's funny. Like, it's like, wow, Jokic had an off game. Like, all he was able to do was have the greatest game of Mason Plumlee's career.
All he was able to do was have a game high points, a game high rebounds, shoot 80% from the field. Like,
so hilarious.
Yeah, and this is, people are going to think we're ragging on Jokic. It really is that we hold him to such a high standard, and he's been so consistently done. What are we, 17 games in? 14 and a half of those have been like him at his career peak.
Right.
And now we have 2.5 of those where it's like, oh man, he kind of looks like he's in a little funk. So it's a little recent.
I think Dev nailed it. Like, not worried, just observing.
Just observing, yeah, totally observing. But this does point to you. So his MVP odds continue to get better. Like, DraftKings has offered me a buyout. Tell me, I bought in for $40. They're offering me $100. They'll pay me right now to cash out my bet for DraftKings Sportsbook. I could already win $60. I'm not going to take it though. I'm going to keep riding this thing.
I'm going to
keep riding it, baby. Keep their feet to the fire. But it's funny that while he's playing bad, like, his MVP odds are going up. And people are like, who might be a sneaky MVP is Jokic. And it's like, were you guys not paying attention when he did 38, 15, and 15?
But it goes to show you what the award has always been. Yeah. The winning. The winning matters. The only time it really didn't is when Russ was the first time we had seen a triple-double for a full year. Sure. Like, it was shocking. The next year he did better, and his odds were super down. So the winning is what matters with that. And the Nuggets are starting to win, so his odds are starting to go up, and you're going to get paid.
I can't wait for it, baby. You're going to be at we all have money on this. So if that night with that, we were talking about this. If it's even close, we're throwing a party here. And if he wins, man, that money, I'm just buying drinks all night at the DNVR bar.
If that, I'll tell you this, if that vote or that bet hits, I will not be here. I'll be in Mexico using my winnings.
Really? You're not going to be here? Come on.
I'm kidding. Come on.
All right, next one. You guys aren't going to like this one because I think it's a little tricky. A Gary Harris 3.
Ooh.
Where is it?
I'm not saying where it's at. It's a Gary Harris 3. Feeling it, Vogt.
Yeah.
I've got a real fire and ice.
Yeah, you guys, you're getting out. This is a binary game. It's a binary game.
Well, okay.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
That's set up.
0 for 2 tonight. If he goes 0 for 2 again next game, I'm switching to the icicle. But for now, Gary's actually been a pretty reliable shooter.
Would you say that's an icicle or a snowflake?
Probably a snowflake.
Sorry. Just being a dick. All right.
You never made a mistake.
Ice closed over here, or ice cold over here.
Because he's shooting with his eyes closed over here. No, I'm joking. I mean, in the corner, we could start going hot. Yeah. But if it's anywhere else, then I don't think so. And then also, I think it depends who passes it to him. He has to be set up. He has to be in the corner. Yeah. So it's not just a confident shot. Nobody looks at it and says yes, unless you're Vogt and Jokic passes it out to someone who can't really shoot, and he's just screaming for it to happen.
I got to say, the comment section, I see fire.
Really?
And then fire and ice from Alyssa, who agrees with Dev and I's original take.
A cheater, yeah.
Fire. I don't see a single snowflake. I see 2 now that I scroll.
It's Alyssa Fleury too, which I find very interesting for the snow. A flurry. That's a very ironic. There.
I got that.
Maybe it's not ironic.
Is
actually,
it?
I don't know.
I don't think it is
that ironic.
Coincidence,
It's
even
not even really coincidence. He was a plus high 31, team high plus 31 tonight, game high. So like Gary Harris
didn't come from his 3-point shot from the corner.
Maybe it did.
Oh. Well,
you don't know.
He didn't make any of those.
Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, you're right.
It actually didn't come.
It literally did not come.
Can confirm.
A Jamal Murray wide open 3-pointer.
I know what my answer is to this because
right now it's recency.
Because he's not
haters
shooting
ball.
it.
We're getting the haters ball. Ice cold, ice cold.
I think I gotta go Flames, fellas.
Yeah.
You don't want to know why? It's because I keep betting it, even though this isn't reality. This is just my perception.
Are you getting paid for it?
Nope, not at all.
So then you should.
Well, what are you doing?
Snowflake.
But I'm saying, I still approach it with this level of confidence.
Oh, so that does make sense. Your idea is still that he's super duper hot, even if he's not.
Dev, why are you cold? Why are you ice cold, man?
Because he's ice cold.
He's 2 of 4.
I mean, also he's not wanting to shoot. I mean, it's down from everywhere else. And he's not wanting to shoot, and he's staying away from the free throw line still. When he goes to the free throw line, he's missing shots. So his shot is just not there right now, and he doesn't have the confidence in the shot. So why should I have the confidence in his shot right now?
Somebody had in the chat says contested Flames.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, if it's wide open, he's not going to shoot it.
Yeah,
he's going to pass the shot.
It is very, very confusing.
It's
very
so confusing, man, the rhythm he plays with. I think that's the thing. And, look, Jamal was plus 30 tonight. He was almost at team high. He's been doing some good things that go beyond just the scoring. But it is weird. Just people have been talking about this a lot lately. We've been talking about it for a while, that he's always compared to Curry, I think in part because his name's Murray and because he shot all those threes in college. But, he's really more of a scorer than a shooter. And he scores off the mid-range. He scores off the bounce. He gets to the he does a lot of he has a lot of really great ways to score. But Michael Porter Jr. to me is almost primarily a shooter. When we were talking about this the other day, I compare him to Klay Thompson more than anybody else. Where his best weapon is his ability just to rise up and drain it.
Just to be tough.
Whereas Murray is he's a really good scorer, but it's just rarely oh man, don't leave that guy open, because he's trying to attack at all times.
But it was exactly that in the bubble.
Well,
that was the same player.
It really was.
We're talking about the same guy.
But even then, it was still a lot of shake.
Yeah, just a lot of creative shots. He's really a crafty player that just
crafty.
tough to stay in front of.
Yeah. RJ Hampton, limited minutes, meaning when he gets in the game, are you expecting goodness, badness, coldness, hotness?
This one is really the halfway. But
the halfway. Eric, you're the hater. Tell me why.
He's like a little puppy out there.
Yeah.
He's running around. He's got all the effort. He's not. He missed a really easy layup. I'm not faulting. Again, this game is binary, as I've been told.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know that I would have, if given a more, shades of gray, I wouldn't have gone.
It would have been more of a rain or maybe a wind.
He's more of a sleet situation. I have confidence in his future, but I don't have confidence at this moment that he's going to do anything.
Have you guys ever seen that thing where there's you have to pick 3 of the groups of animals and they have to defend you against the other 6? And it's
yes.
It's 10 alligators, 2 grizzly bears, whatever. He's the 100 chickens or something. He's
one Jokic or 100 RJ Hampton.
Exactly. It's he has a utility out there. He's he brings a skill set that's hey, it's kind of fun.
It's like me playing pickup. All I can do is run into people and try to knock the ball loose.
Marcus with the super chat.
What does it say? I can't read that far.
It says Green, MPJ, Morris makes such a big difference. They can hit shots. Love y'all.
Man, that's love
right
there.
Marcus, thank
yeah,
you.
Mike.
He didn't say anybody didn't say anybody had to take a shot.
No,
This
is called a.
This is not a hazing.
Yeah,
I don't understand love.
This is a
That's not also
benevolent.
hate.
This is a benevolent super chat. This is not a malicious super chat.
Back to RJ though, if he's making decisions, but effort plays, rebounding, getting in for the loose balls.
I really thought he was going to catch your body.
Dude, he had a nice little attack. Thought he was going, and then he tried to get a little too.
I know, that's what I mean. He missed it.
That first step though, when he gets a lane, you do start to get a little excited.
Oh, I was like, here comes Vogt's body. Which is every time I see Vogt himself.
Here comes Vogt's body. Not Vogt. It's just his body is headed our way. All right, last one for you guys. JaMychal Green 3.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Man, JaMychal Green, he's really quickly become a fan favorite. We should have known by how much everybody else liked him, but I feel here in Denver, the impression he's made early on is even more than what I expected based on what people told me from Memphis, from the Clippers.
Just a hard worker that I'm telling you, he just does his job. He's not out there doing anything extra. Everybody loves to play with him. If his teammates love to play with him and they're putting him in positions that they're bringing him up with no reason.
Yeah, they're I want to play with him for the rest of my life.
Everybody has endorsed this guy. So how is anyone else going to be down on a person that everyone loves? And it's for a reason.
I need to look into the history of JaMychal Green and understand why he's gone from team to team.
He hasn't.
Well, he's been
in the league for a while.
He's been on Memphis and the Clippers at least. Is it just those
I
two?
think. Well, here's I like that you asked this because I think it segues into another thing. I think he kind of enjoys being here. If you look at it, in part because what he does is appreciated in a way that I don't think. Look, I think he liked Memphis. He talks about his time there. He goes to the Clippers, and they had that 1 year where they were all underdogs, and I think he really enjoyed that. When you bring in Paul George and you bring in Kawhi Leonard, you are just one of the other guys in a way that's an underappreciated other guy of hey man, we scored 30 tonight each. We need you guys to step up and do your job.
Yeah.
Whereas here, like he is part of what they're doing in a way that like it just feels appreciated. Am I reading too much into this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, even when going back a couple weeks now to when Jokic initially made those comments about wanting to play with him forever.
Dude, Kawhi never said that.
And he goes, he takes to his Instagram that night, and it's sort of a hard thing to say like orally, but he does the finger cross emoji thing, like as if I hope so. I mean, I think he's had Denver on his radar for a couple of seasons. I think he likes the way they play. I think he likes that he's a valued member of what they're doing. You know, we always say, like, in the club. I think JaMychal feels as though he's in the club.
Oh, he's so in the club. I mean, that's you start to understand the stories you heard about the Clippers last year with the preferential treatment of the stars, like why a player like JaMychal Green would like not want to be there. Like he's a hard worker. Like you come and you work with a player like Nikola Jokic, who's like a lunch paler himself. We got another super chat.
Malone too, Eric.
Another super chat, and then somebody else sent one in and said shots everyone.
Oh my God.
So you never know where we're gonna have to go. No, we haven't been that many, thankfully. Thankfully.
Josh Moore wants to know, are we buying or selling Gary Harris
that's a
stock
good question.
right now?
I'm buying.
Dev, what is your answer, Dev?
He did not ask that. He did not ask that.
I'm putting a little, my own, I'll put $5 in the super chat to make sure that you answer this question.
I have to answer, huh?
No, yeah. I'm buying.
Buying?
Of course I'm going to buy.
I'm buying Gary Harris.
Just a little tap, just so I can get it.
Oh, that's right, because he was selling.
Because he sold
every stock. Yes, twice.
So in the preseason, he sold every ounce of Gary Harris stunk, and then when given an opportunity, he sold stunk he didn't even own. He double sold it. He shorted it. He GameStopped it.
He's definitely a GameStop right now. He's out of business. He's bankrupt, man.
The question is, Josh, what is his stock? Oh, shots everyone. That's multiple.
You hear the pain in Dev's voice as he reads that. Oh no!
What is his stock at right now? Because, come on.
If it's real stock, if this were real stock, I would be selling because it's high now, and I'm waiting for the
See, I'm on his side.
But it's not real stock. It's the winner's lounge.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
fire, baby. I'm buying.
Oh man,
I'm buying as much stock as I can, and I'm just gonna try to give it out to every single team. And if one person puts their hands up, like we'll buy. Sold. It don't even matter what the price is.
All right, let's take our final break here, and then Harrison Wind. We have him. He's arrived. He has spoken. I'm guessing Harrison. Did Jokic not speak tonight? And that's why you're here early.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened. Perfect. No Will Barton. Those two are the ones that take forever. So we'll take our final ad break here. We'll take this shot, this Rakia.
Hey, commenters, we love you and go fuck yourselves.
We love you and we hate you.
Love to drop an F-bomb right before the ad break. Shout out sponsors
Watch me take this vote.
like MSU Denver Online.
My best. I'm gonna focus.
MSU Denver Online is putting a dynamic education at your fingertips without forcing you to decide between earning a degree and living your life. And that's what it's all about right now, not forcing you to decide. The world is still turning, believe it or not. Your lives are still going. And so you should not have to do things like put your education on hold. Check out MSU Denver Online. They've been doing the online education thing for a while. It's not lazy. It's not A to B. They're committed to giving you a holistic education and placing you in classrooms with teachers who have real-life experience, real-world experience. So check out MSU Denver Online right now. Do not choose between the world turning and getting your education. Let's talk about Strava Craft Coffee, because I love Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD enriched coffee, which means you won't get high. It's not euphoric, but you might feel the CBD effects, taking a little edge off that anxiety, maybe helping your IBS out, the joint pain. You can go to Strava Craft Coffee right now and use code DNVR20 to save 20% off your first order, or you can use their subscription service. You can get 20% off every single shipment. That subscription service is where it at. You can choose what flavor, what dosage, and when it comes to you, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks. So check out Strava Craft Coffee. Use code DNVR20 to save 20% off every order.
Look who's here, guys.
What's up, guys?
A little gust of wind. Harrison, it was so...
This lounge feels a little toasty.
we did. It is a little toasty. It has been toasty. All right, so tell me real quick, just post-game commentary, how did it feel? I heard a little bit of Michael Malone because he was started before we started the show. It seemed to me like he was feeling himself a little. He loves Munders.
Himself.
He loves Munders.
He loves Munders, and he loves when Gary Harris has a big game.
Yeah, he does.
That's another thing he loves. He had a fire quote on Gary Harris tonight. First off, quote, I thought Gary was phenomenal tonight to hold a guy like Duncan Robinson to 2 of 10 from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah.
Gary was in him the whole night, made him work for everything. And then Michael Malone, Gary Harris is a guy that so many people have been down on. Might be talking to the show.
He might be.
But I've been with Gary Harris for 6 years now. Gary Harris has a lot to do with me still being the head coach here. I believe in Gary Harris.
Wow.
That's a quote.
Strong
Big
words.
time quote.
Always fun when these guys rally around like fans.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of people have been down on Gary Harris. Well, maybe because he shot 33% from three for the last 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah, he's there again. That is good. You know what though? Malone's really good at those things. Like he's really good at like rallying.
He's always got his guys' back. That's one of his defining qualities.
Yeah.
Since he got here, he got the young core to buy in because he had their back at every turn, and he's still got their back today.
Yeah.
And I think like they've got his back because of that. It's a big thing for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of Gary Harris talk tonight in the post game, for sure. Let me see what else here. JaMychal Green on Gary Harris. He doesn't allow himself to get down or get too high or too low. He keeps a smile on his face. You gotta love that. And then Gary was asked about his 3-point shooting, and I think Vogt was talking about it earlier. What is he, 40 plus from three for these last 8 or 10 games or something like that?
Yeah, prior to tonight because he was 0 for 2, but the last 8 games he was 46%.
Yeah, Gary just with a big smile says, "Oh, I'm just myself. You know, I'm still the same guy. Not doing anything different.
Yeah,
I'm just me." So
we're high on Gary right now. We're
Yeah.
buying stock. Even Dev is buying some stock.
What about you,
Wow.
Wind? Would you buy, sell, or sit tight?
I'm gonna sit tight still. I'm gonna sit tight. I mean, 3-point shooting has been great before tonight. I mean, he's still at like 33% from three on the year. So it's definitely encouraging. I'm closer to buying now than I was, 2 weeks ago, but I'll still hold. Hold, I think.
Who else spoke?
So Jamal Murray spoke. Gary Harris spoke. JaMychal Green
Let's hear from
spoke.
Murray.
Let's see what Jamal Murray said. So I asked Jamal like just a big picture question because like 3 weeks ago this team was like 1-4, and the sky was falling.
Hard to remember.
Yeah, and I was just like, how did you guys keep a level head and not panic? And he said, this was interesting. I thought the perception of us worrying is the only thing that makes us worry. I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
It's like the only thing that makes them potentially panic is outside noise saying they're panicking.
I think there's a lot to this.
I do too.
I think this is a big thing that people don't realize about, and this is part of why players, I think, really despise media and also despise social media and this or that is, it is distracting when people are analyzing so much of what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately for them, that's the way it is, and it's part of this giant machine that allows NBA players to, the NBA to exist in the form that it is. But your veteran teams, your veterans and your Hall of Fame players, one of the things they all talk about is learning how to tune out that noise. That's why when people say, like, Will Barton's quote the other day about, like, I've been talking to God, I don't this or that, and people were like, oh my God, seriously? Like, no, man, like, you don't understand. That's a necessity. Mm-hmm. Players at that level have to develop the ability to be like, I don't care what the masses are saying. We all think, like, fans get upset at that, like, well, he doesn't listen because we're right. Like, no, listen, whether you were right or wrong, he had to develop that ability to do that. So that is a real distraction that he's referencing there.
Yeah, for sure.
Eric just super chatted us.
Oh my God,
He's like right there.
Such a bum, dude.
I'm not doing that, Eric.
Such a bum. Eric, we right as a group, we nominate Eric.
Eric, you take the shot.
I could go for one. I'm thirsty.
Wow.
Jamal Murray had some other interesting stuff on Michael Porter Jr.'s improvement. He said, defensively, he's much more aware. Offensively, he's being aggressive. We're just telling him to be aggressive and keep shooting.
Okay.
Also, this was interesting from Jamal Murray. He was kind of talking about the bench because Porter had a big night. JaMychal Green had a big night. Quote, I'm just out there facilitating and trying to make us a whole group out there. So just kind of saying he's trying to get everybody involved and whatnot.
I thought this was, so this is interesting because we talked about him passing up shots. And look, it is a really delicate balance for a player like him. I mean, look, he's a scoring combo guard. I think the perfect player like balances when to shoot, when not to, and some of those shots he passed up aren't. But I do think that I was thinking about this even as we were watching it. Yep. I do think that comes from a mentality of I'm trying to facilitate. I'm trying to go against my instincts here, and when you do that, wires get crossed. So,
and he said this when he was asked about being an all-star at the very beginning of the season. He was like, Oh, thank you, Kale. Thank you, sir.
Oof.
He was like, I want to be an all-star, but I also know that we've got a damn talented team.
Yeah.
We've got a really deep team, so I'm going to facilitate and get others involved when I need to and get mine when I can.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It's also funny that we're nitpicking him not taking shots when he was a plus 30 and the Nuggets blew him out tonight.
Yeah,
like, I mean, this is what we do. We talk about the games and what happened, good and bad, but...
Yeah, he also joined the JaMychal Green fan club tonight.
Oh, wow.
Jamal Murray did.
I love that every week, one by one, the guys are like,
it's really just whoever's available in the Zoom calls.
I love that JaMychal, he hears about it and he just smiles. He's just so happy about it.
But Jamal was saying, I love JaMychal. I love guys that play hard like JaMychal, like Facu. He talked
Facu.
about how at the beginning of the season, they were just trying to get up to speed on just how this team plays and fitting in. He said now they're just playing. Now they're just hooping. They're becoming a big part of what we're doing and where we're going. Jamal was in a good mood tonight. He was asked about the ejection the other night because we haven't talked to him since, and he just kind of said, pass that next question.
No.
So did not really address that.
I'm not,
and then,
not trying to get fined.
Yeah, for sure. And then Gary was the other guy who spoke. Gary Harris on the defense. We're just flying around. We're giving efforts, second and third efforts. And then just about him and Michael Malone, about Malone's comments earlier, just a few minutes earlier, he said, Coach was the first one to give me the chance to play. So I've always got the respect from him. If you remember, Gary, his rookie year,
of course, didn't play.
Was with Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
And he really didn't play, even though that Nuggets team was terrible.
Yeah.
And Michael Malone came in and pretty much said from day one, Gary Harris, you're my starting two guard.
It was like his first order, right?
Yeah.
As captain of the new ship.
It was his first, is how presidents they can't get enough of signing executive orders when they get into the office.
Yeah.
Just one after
Executive
another.
order number
it's
one.
all they can do their first week.
There,
Gary Harris, starting shooting guard. Boom.
That's funny.
And then Gary Harris on Michael Porter Jr., the effort he's been giving on both ends of the floor stood out to him. He does a great job of being in the right spot. He wants to be great.
It's good stuff, man. That's
Great
really good
stuff.
stuff. Great vibes, it sounds like, with this team. I mean,
Good
anytime
vibes.
you're winning, it's good vibes. But
I mean, just think about it. Like, what would we have taken on this road trip just heading out? Would we have taken 2 and 3?
Oh, no. 3 and 2, I said there was no like par. There was, you're either slightly over or slightly under.
2 and 3 would have been a disappointment. 3 and 2 would have been awesome.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
And so for them to start out like this, 4-0 is massive.
Hey, they've been adamant that this is the result of injuries, a lack of a traditional training camp, offseason, slow start, all that stuff. And, it's the last thing you want to hear as a fan when your team looks terrible. But they have insisted that they're going to get this train back on the tracks, and to this point, it looks like they've done so.
What would their record be if they didn't have third quarters or home games? They'd be the best
undefeated.
team.
What would their record be if JaMychal Green wasn't hurt at the start of the season?
Well, that's a really good.
Because
I mean, honestly,
this team has been a different animal since JaMychal Green got healthy.
Such a great point.
Harrison, there's a comment that
You're supposed to have a drink, apparently.
Dude,
Yeah.
Eric just can't come off the show and go directly into the chat.
That's actually it's a rule.
There's got to be a 20-minute buffer between those things.
He's in the chat while he's on the show.
Cheers to the chat, not to Eric, to the chat other than Eric.
How important do you think it is to finish out the road trip on a 5-0? I mean, there's things that happen throughout the course of a season that I feel like really solidify you, and I feel like a 5-0 road trip. 4-1 is great too. Like, there's nothing. It's going to be good, but a 5-0 road trip is one of those things where I feel like at the end of the season they're going to be like, we point it back to that road trip we took where we went 5-0, where we really came together and got our confidence.
I mean, I would love to know. I might look this up after the show. Just what's the Nuggets' longest win streak on the road?
Yeah,
Is
longest
it
undefeated road trip or something? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just win streak on the road, because I don't know how many times they've won 5 in a row on the road. That's a lot.
No.
And it coincides too with MPJ coming back, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily that's causation.
Well, they had one game before then, and then they go on the road. Yeah.
So just that shot of it. I mean, right when it looked like, okay, they're back on track, but they're exhausted, right? So can they gut out this like attrition in this 5-game road trip, and they get the ultimate shot of energy back in the arm in MPJ?
Man, we got more haters than usual in the chat today, man. Some real haters.
We're bursting our bubble.
Bursting our own bubble here. All right, we're gonna wrap up today by playing a little garbage. What is it called, Kale? Garbage takes. Garbage. What would taking out the garbage? D-line name. Garbage takes. We're Where's it at? Do we have that graphic?
Garbage takes?
In the meantime,
okay, I'll drop in the ball
in
here.
the meantime, I'll stall.
There it is. Boom. That was fast. Garbage takes. There it is. Hey, we're in the garbage, huh? So is Dev. All right. Yeah, I know. What the hell, man? I don't know how he decides who's where. So today there was garbage time. And garbage time is exciting, man. Garbage time is can't miss for the Nuggets because they've got
garbage time is way more exciting with the Nuggets than with 29 other teams.
I think you're right. I think they're first team all garbage.
Yeah.
So you have Zeke Naji, you got Vlatko Čančar, you've got Bol, you've got Marcus Howard, and you got R.J. Hampton. Now Isaiah Hartenstein is sadly in the garbage position. He didn't even get in today, so he's, read into that whatever you will. But of those 6 guys, I want to hear your order. Or I want to hear your number one, most excited to watch in garbage time.
I mean, it's got to be Bull, right?
Is it?
Yeah, dude, because Bull is one of one. But there is going to be a sneaky contender here, like Marcus Howard.
Really? Is he from Boston? Or
no, but it's a wicked shot, kid. That guy can fill it up. And so I kind of, when he's out there, I'm kind of just like, shoot it every time.
Yeah.
Shoot it every time.
Yeah.
Harrison?
One for me might be R.J. Hampton.
Man, I like this take.
One for me might be R.J.
Hampton. This is a power ranking, meaning like next week it could change. Yeah. But like R.J. Hampton is so new, and we've seen Bull a few times.
Yeah, we kind of got a little bit of the Bull experience. But R.J. Hampton, man, I just never know what that guy's going to do out there.
He has an explosive skill set.
Yeah.
He's making some hustle plays.
Like I'm waiting for R.J. Hampton to just, get a deflection out by half court and then just get a wide open fast break the other way.
That will be very fun.
He's number one for me right now. Number 2 is probably Bull still. Okay. But he's number 1. I'll tell you who's last, and I hate to say it, but it's Vlatko. And I love Vlatko. I mean, he's been my go-to quote for 2 years now.
Yeah.
He's got like the best pulse on the team of anybody,
right.
I feel like.
Right.
But he's such a funny player.
Yeah.
He's such an odd player.
He really is a center. Like that rebound he had
so
keeps
funny.
it high. It goes into the shot. Very Tim Duncan-esque other than
I hope he can be on the team forever, but he's just such an odd player.
What do you think, Dev?
I mean, the correct answer is Bull. He's
still Bull.
He's the most unique player of ever. He's like 8'6", and just does like the rebound. He does cool rebounds. Like his shots are great. His dunks are insane.
Yeah.
The dunk that he had on Michael Porter Jr.'s Instagram, that's incredible stuff. Like you want to see that type of stuff in person. But the person that really every single time that just, even though it's garbage time, they just never miss is Zeke Naji. He never misses. When he's in there, it just seems like it feels like he's played for so much longer than just being a rookie.
Those 13-foot jumpers really do it for you.
He never misses. He's just like putting them in for little small stints. I think that they should just try it a little bit more.
I like this take because one of our feelings about the preseason with Zeke Naji, and I think he was like 3rd out of all rookies in PER in the preseason. I feel like if the Nuggets needed a Utah 7 type game and they needed Zeke Naji, I think he could play a fine role as that 7th guy. Like if he was the Vlatko of last year's the 7 game, I think he could do that. I think he could step in and be okay.
R.J. Hampton might be my number 1 too right now. And again, it's a power ranking. It's probably just a little honeymoon phase because we're just getting to look at him. But he's just the one I feel like I know Bull's game a little bit.
Yeah.
When Bull starts going off, I'm all for it. But, I don't know. So Bull would probably be number 2. Marcus Howard, I'm with you, man. Like, he's true garbage time because I don't have a ton of, hope for Marcus Howard. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have a ton of hope that he's, the next up-and-comer. R.J. Hampton, Zeke Naji, Bol, I think those guys could be the next wave of great players for the Nuggets. But Marcus Howard is fun because I'm just like, dude, I just want to see you take as many tough shots as you can because that's what you do, and it's pretty fun. Vlatko, you're probably right. He is probably low. Zeke Naji is a funny one because I think he's really good, but I'm not that excited to see him.
How great
in garbage time.
How great would he be with the Spurs? He's like a Spurs.
It's because he's the type of guy who's better when he's playing with better players.
I think that's it.
RJ Hampton, Bol, those guys can kind of shine in spots.
We're wrapping up, Cal. We're wrapping up, bro. What are we doing here?
We're wrapping up. They gave us one on the way out.
They gave us one last one to get out of here. Oh my god, that's tough.
We have no choice.
We have no choice. Well, I was gonna say we're heading out here, but I guess we have to wait. I have work to do tonight.
I gotta drive.
I really got to amend this plan that I have here. And you poured some big ass shots here.
Seriously.
Wow.
This game is short-sighted.
Very short-sighted.
I'm still feeling that last one.
All right. Well, we really have to change up what Super Chat is. It was our first day. We don't even know how it works yet.
We'll never forget the first day of the Super Chat.
First and last Super Chat with this drinking thing. But thanks, everybody, for watching us and hanging with us tonight, guys. Don't forget, we have pregame shows. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff, coming. You can tell it. These shots are starting. I can't even get us out of here.
Coming
Thanks,
down
everyone.
the wire.
Good night.